Story tonight, reaction joining us from Boston, Fox News military analyst Colonel David Hunt, and from Los Angeles, Kristen Whiton, who advised President Bush the younger on foreign affairs. So am I making any mistakes here, Mr. Whiton?
No, I don't think so. I would add a few other things to the list. You know, we could be specific with helping Central Europe get free of Russian energy. It's Russian energy that's been used against Ukraine, but also against our allies in Poland and Czech Republic, also like Germany and France. And yes, we should expedite Keystone XL, but there are other regulatory things and regulatory hurdles the Obama administration has erected to exporting natural gas. If we can get through those and free Central Europe, that will go a long way.
Okay, but that's
taking resources away from Putin and giving them to us.
That's going to take some time, and that's why I gave something that President Obama can do tomorrow, right, Colonel Hunt?
You can do the G8 thing you mentioned, but shutting off the banks you can't do tomorrow. That's going to take cooperation from other countries.
You can start it tomorrow. You can say you're going to do it.
He can't throw the switch that stops the banking. It takes too much other cooperation. The problem, Bill, is Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Georgia, and now Ukraine. We have done nothing. And I don't see us doing anything with this that will push this man out of the Crimea.
Whoa. You're discounting the ruble. We can destroy the ruble, Colonel Hunt, in a month. In a month, we can destroy that currency. It'll be worth nothing, just like Argentina's, just like Venezuela's. You can destroy it. You can destroy that currency, Colonel. Yes, you can. And you're discounting that totally, and I don't know why.
No, because I don't think the United States can do that by itself. The two you mentioned did it internally. That was their own destruction. You're talking about the President of the United States being able to flip a switch and stop Russian banking. He can't do it alone.
No. We're not going to do any business, and Britain would certainly follow us. England would certainly follow us, and France, I believe, would follow us. Germany, wishy-washy, but I think you can put pressure on them. That's the way to go. Cool. Now, Mr. Whiton, and you were involved with the Georgia thing, all right, where in August 2008, only 3 months before President Bush left office, Putin tried the same play, all right, in Georgia. But the Georgians shot at the Russian troops. There was an excuse maker there. And eventually Putin pulled out most of his troops from there. Do you think that's what's going to happen in Ukraine?
No, I don't know. No one really knows if Russia's going to take the next step of eastern Ukraine. But Georgia, I mean, that's a problem that we keep looking at these things in isolation. It's a problem the Bush administration did make. I mean, before Hillary and Obama reset relations with Russia, presuming that history had come to an end and we could be friends, I mean, essentially Condoleezza Rice did it too. And you get things like the invasion of Georgia, annexation of territory. Going back to your earlier point, there are steps we can take right now. If we label certain Russian banks as primary money laundering concerns, the Treasury Department tomorrow can start making Putin feel economic pain.
Oh, I know that to be true. Now, Colonel Hunt, you sound a little dovish here. You sound like almost a little Rand Paulish. Stay out of it. Let Putin do what he wants. You're a tough macho man. You're more macho than Putin, Colonel. If you took your shirt off, you would shame him. I don't know if you got a horse, but we'll rent one for you. But you sound a little dovish here.
The shirt's probably not going to come off, but thanks for the offer. The issue is, what's reality? This is no spin zone. Realistically, what can we do? And my issue is I don't think we have a dog in this fight. I think Europe has a dog in this fight.
Then when the president says to Putin, "Don't do it," and 2 days later he does it? You don't think that's a spit in the eye?
Moving soldiers. He was moving naval infantry, which is in there now in Crimea, during the Olympics. This was moving. He has war gamed this. He understands we're not going to do anything. My point is, what we can do will not force Putin to pull out of Crimea. And we got nothing to say about him going to Kiev.
That might be right. But if we destroy their currency's shaky anyway. Nobody wants rubles. Nobody, all right? I want to pay my staff in rubles. They all quit. They're not taking rubles, all right? They don't want it. And you make it worse than it is now, all right? All their prices go up. That's how we squeezed Iran to the table. That's how we squeezed them. It's the exact same thing.
Because even doing Iran, Bill, took years to get the cooperation to do what finally worked in Iran.
The big boys are going to cooperate with us. If one of them doesn't, I would resign from NATO. I'm going to give you the last word, Mr. Whiton. When you have personality like Putin, and the one thing the Colonel's right about is this is one hombre that doesn't really care. Doesn't care what the world thinks, doesn't care what anybody thinks. The only way you can hurt him is to destabilize the economy so the Russian people turn on him. That's the only way. Am I right?
That's right. You have to do real things. Sending John Kerry, who in many ways still sounds like a senator, who thinks that rhetoric is an actual product, and putting it against Putin doesn't really work. Real steps. And another one you didn't mention, but should be on our list, is expelling Russia from the World Trade Organization. You know, that and the G8 aren't meant to be reformatories. You're supposed to behave well to get into them, and when you don't, you should be thrown out. And the reason we do have a stake in this is because if we're not there, then Europe will increasingly lean toward Russia, which will imperil our interests. We don't need to be Boy Scouts, but we need to do something.
Not only that, and Colonel Hunt knows this, and we're going to have you back on later on in the week, Colonel. China's watching this because China wants to expand its sphere of influence, take the Japanese islands. They're watching to see what happens here. This is